kill it once, just the way the magic works out here. And so, I don't know. A second one is really what we're looking for, I guess. I don't know. It's just personal preference.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. My internet just crashed and the stream was gone for a few minutes. But now it should be all back.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, you guys have basically missed everything. Everything's been cruising along. There's been no real big mistakes for their player. You know, no real chance for Thalane to make up time on checks, and no real extra loss. So we're about to see Chex do his Mire to Hera and Hera to Swamp series of clips. So we're gonna see how he does it. You know, he might do the sword clip. I think he might. I don't know.
I don't think Chex is much of a sword clipper though. He might select buffer, but that would not be that fast because you get a lot of buffers.
Be fast at all. All right, so yeah, he's bonking. He's doing the bonk clip.
And once again, Chex proving he's extremely good at the glitch stuff. That was very fast.
That really was.
Hard to do much better than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those spots where like maybe you read the pixels a little bit wrong or something. It's easy to lose 20 seconds just at that bomb clip. So great job from Chex. Gets the chest turn.
Huge chest turn. That is the free chest turn though. You got to get that. If you don't get that, then you're not even trying, right?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, heading back through Mire 2. Off to grab the King of Samaria. Meanwhile, Thalane is he's doing his first round through the torches.
Yeah, so the way Chex through that room, we dash back down to fall in the pit. It's actually pretty much the fastest way you can do it. You can hover there, which saves a tiny bit of time, but also keeps health, which is going to save a tiny bit of time later in the dungeon as well. But hovering is difficult. The way Chex did it is pretty easy. Yeah, it's like the only kind of real scary thing there is maybe getting hit by the laser. But you have to be slower than I would expect anybody in this tournament to miss that. So unless you bonk or something, in which case, like, yeah, you might hit it.
Yeah, getting hit by the laser, it's unfortunate. I don't really know what your recovery is for the rest of the dungeon there.
You have to know backups for Vitreous. It's pretty much the only way, because you would take 4 hearts from the laser. There's no good health refills on the way. And so, like, if you can do, like, a 3-heart Vitreous fight, then you're good. But otherwise, too tough.
And Chex missed the Miss Spooky, so he's going to give it a second shot. And he's missed it again, and he's going for a third. I think at this point, it's not happening. Yes. He's going to have to bomb his way through.
I think he was a little bit low. It was hitting, like, the bottom of the anti-fairies as opposed to, like, this side.
You have to hit, like, such a weird spot on the fairy for it to actually hit the switch. Be teleported up on the switch, so sometimes bad things just happen.
Playing also with a pretty nice clip there to get to Swamp. And yeah, Chex heading into Vitreous. The big reason we don't want to get hit by the laser here is because Vitreous, we're going to take, what is it, 4 to 5 hearts of damage intentionally, which is actually the safest way to handle this boss fight.
Yeah, since the eyeballs do 4 hearts of damage, we go ahead and pre-damage ourselves by getting up in that goo, which only does 1 heart of damage. So makes it easier to be able to spin the eyeballs, get them dead as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. But here, the next few dungeons, next 2 dungeons, are pretty short. Swamp Palace is about 4 minutes long, and 55 seconds of that is Crystal Cuts. And then Ice Palace is like a little over 3 minutes long, and like 50 seconds of that is Crystal Cutscene. So the next little bit is gonna come pretty fast here. But first we gotta get there. Chex is currently in the Maya region. There's really no way out of here other than mirroring out, but that's slow. We're just gonna hop over this mountain that's in our way right here.
Chex doing the fast clip out. He teleports into the pink shot.
Yeah, but that's pretty quick. If you either beat the shot to the teleport or get hit like that, that's pretty darn quick. So, good clip from Chex.
Didn't get lottoed, so it's successful there.
Yeah, and big thing here is that health doesn't particularly matter for this dungeon. Swamp's one of the safer dungeons. I mentioned most things do 2 hearts of damage, but in Swamp, almost everything does 1. And yeah, we see Chex trying to beat the anti-fairy there, which is a strat that saves like 20 frames, I think. It's pretty tough, but this is a great category to try it in because, like I said, health doesn't really matter.
And Thalane hits the spooky first try, so a little more time gain. Back on. Wait, did Thalane do the hover off of the bridge to save the heart and everything? He did the airy strat. He had beams, so he must have done the airy meme hover. If instead of taking the damage boost or taking the damage from falling off the bridge when you get the cane, you hover off and keep your hearts. You can keep beams until that final room there and beam the switch to save time.
But yeah, combining words. Swamp here is our last chance to kind of restock on bombs, arrows, anything else like that. So Chex taking note of his arrow and bomb count, picking up what he needs. I imagine Thalane will do this.
Yeah, Thalane's also low on bombs and arrows, so Chex has a good, whatever you want to call that trick. Dal, what would you call that trick? We're having a lot of controversy on the naming of that trick.
My understanding was that whoever finds it names it, and the person who found it called it Diver Down. So,
all right, well there you go. Dal calls it Diver Down. There's a mutiny though about this trick's name. So.
Well, Yuzu didn't call it anything. Yuzu said Diver Down was good, and I thought Khan gave him the idea. So.
Seeing Thalane's fast Mire exit, he's gonna go ahead and bait the pink shot before he does it, and he's heading in.
Yeah, the thing about these buffers is that when you're going to the right here, you can only buffer 1 pixel at a time, and you got to get in, I think it's 9 pixels into the wall, maybe it's 8, either way. So you got to do, 8 or 9 kind of frame perfect inputs, because you have to press A and the directions, which is not super easy to do fast. So baiting the fireball there is, reasonable.
Yeah, for sure. But as he's heading into Swamp, Chex is now heading out of Swamp, doing the longest crystal cutscene in the game. This Swamp lady's chatty. She wants to let us know about 2 red crystals. We've already gotten 1 red crystal, so I guess she's not informed on what we've been up to. Link never says anything back to him, so I guess how would they know?
He does say yes or no.
That's true. I
Please
mean, maybe
don't
that's
say
like
no.
Don't ever say no.
You gotta sit through all of this again. But yeah, honestly, we're seeing pretty solid play out of Chex. He is gonna go for this mirror wrap here, which is
he's mirror wrapping. All right.
As we've seen before, Chex has had some great glitch stuff. Gets it first right here. He does still have a hard lock chance, but boss looks pretty good to me.
Yep, looks like, yeah, he's got it. No big
And he
deal.
knows his stuff, so no hard luck there. That's an interesting setup for an Instaclip. And yeah, we're actually going to see another clip right here for Chex. Going to go through the walls in Ice Palace here, which is actually surprisingly doesn't save like that much time. It saves like 6 or 7 seconds, which is still a lot, but you would think, hey, we're skipping basically all the dungeon. We already did that anyway with Ice Palace Bomb Jump. So we just see a couple of different rooms, basically, is what happens here.
Yeah, I think the big thing that is so nice about it is that it just simplifies the dungeon a lot. Instead of having to take all the damage boosts and stuff going through it, you just get to I don't know, you go through these kind of humdrum rooms.
Nice zero cycle from Thalane on Argus there. That is actually really tough. You can get pretty good at it to where like you get like 80-90% consistency, but since you have to start the fight by pressing 3 buttons at the same time, and 2 buttons at the same time is already the hardest trick in the game. 3 buttons might as well never happen. And one mistake and then you don't get it anymore. So it's a great job from Thalane there.
Meanwhile, Chex heading into the cold stare fight. A few different strategies you can use to kill cold stare. Looks like, yeah, he's doing single poke strategy here. Nails it.
Well, if we want to talk about holding buttons, Kostler, you're also holding a direction with your left hand. So you're considering the D-pad a button here, holding up to 4 or 5 buttons if you hold it that.
Check's gonna do his Ice Palace mirror up. Another potential lock capability here could happen. Oh man, he is getting that bee is messing with his life. Oh man, that's rough. Oh, and then the bomb too.
Wow, Jeez,
this is so mean. This is so rude. Such rudeness is happening.
Never seen that Hinox get that high up and
Hinox
start throwing at you.
Oh, he missed the mirroring. He's gonna go for this. Yeah, he nails it second try.
Yeah, that's another 2 buttons on the same frame, so it's actually not that easy.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is if you have to like transition back, sometimes the screen's corrupted, like you saw in his, so you don't have like the same visual cues that you'd have to hop into the door.
It's not Thalane's bomb count. Using that extra bomb there is a little bit low. He'll be fine, but Chug's opting to do a teleport there to get into Ice Rod Cave. That saves a bomb. He's actually faster than kind of doing the screen normally, but slower than a glitched way we have of doing it.
Yeah, slower than breaking the camera.
Yeah. Pretty solid icebreaker from Thalane.
And Check's doing his final hair clip.
Which was great again.
Yep,
honestly.
Another great hair clip.
Had 5 hair clips so far, and they've all been fantastic. Chex, we're going to get into Turtle Rock. We're actually going to go in the back entrance here. Normally we need the Quick Medallion. We don't have that. We're going to do another mirror wrap here. Great job from Chex. Still a chance to mess it up, but all you got to do is hold up, which he does, and we're good. So now we're going to go through Turtle Rock backwards. Uh-oh. Getting hit by the laser there is
rough. You're down to 2 hearts. Almost everything does 4 hearts of damage in here. Other than like the fire thing, the fire bar that you normally take a intentional hit from. I don't see it. Yeah, he's gonna charge a spin to hold that off.
Oh no.
Thalane, that's rough.
So Thalane was going for single poke there, and you have to hold the poke for at least 10 frames normally. But because Cold Stare, you're hitting 3 different enemies. It's actually variable. Like, the game doesn't hit them all at the same time. And so sometimes you have to hold it up to like 16 frames for the game to count it, which is a lot longer than you think when you're going for it. And if you don't, it'll just drop your spin. And so I think that messed him up. And then Cold Stare kind of separated, and the ice got bad pattern from the ice. It's just hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah. And with that, Thalane has decided to forfeit from the race. And you can't really come back from this. And a Cold Stare death is always really rough to deal with, so...
Yeah, it's always really rough.
So, on Chex's side, we're heading into the Trinex fight. Chex actually had a gold ice palace last split, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, keep in mind, Chex does need to actually finish this run out to get the win. So, he is going to finish it out, but I guess there won't be much pressure on him at this point.
Yeah. And then it doesn't look like there's that much of a PB possibility for him for this run. He's already plus 35 or whatever, so yeah, you can just kind of relax until he finishes it.
I suppose if he gets good RMG to finish the run out and has a pretty solid GT, then he could still PB, but it'll be like a 2-second PB probably. So I don't think Chex. I mean, he'd be happy because it's a PB, but I think he knows he can do a little bit better than that, so it won't be his best.
Yeah. So yeah, having what looked like a pretty good turtle rock there, other than taking the shot from the laser for the laser skip, but
yeah. Sorry about the run, Thalane. It is like, it's tough when that happens.
Yeah. You know, it's the category.
Yeah, I mean, it's the category. I'm just wondering if the pod shenanigans contributed that at all, or if it was just like he didn't want to keep going after being on no magic at Cold Stare, which is pretty typical. Like, that's what happens when you die.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who, you get a Cold Stare death. I'm kind of one of them, where if you get a Cold Stare death, you just don't want to at all, ever.
Yeah, Cold is one of those bosses that's just like...
Well, getting back to being able to do the fight again, you have to do so much to like refill your magic here. There's not a convenient magic refill for you.
Yeah, it's just not fun, and it's a few minute death. It's honestly, you hate to see it all the time. It doesn't matter what category, what runner, it's the worst death in the game.
Yeah, but with that forfeit, Thalane is still not out. There is a loser's bracket in this tournament, so he will be playing, I think he will be playing the Sabin in the first round of the loser's bracket. That's assuming, of course, that Chex finishes the run and everything. Actually, Chex did save a fair bit of time. He's only plus 24 going in against out here.
Yeah, if he does get good RNG, then he is definitely within striking distance of a PB here, which would be pretty cool. But like we mentioned about an hour ago, we kind of backload the RNG in this category, so I don't know. I personally dislike that a lot. I know some people like it, but
yeah. A lot of people say, well, it's like buying a lottery ticket. You play well all the way through and then see whether you won. by going through the blue ball gauntlet and then the Ganondorf gauntlet. I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but I don't know. It's just the way the category is. If you could find, I wonder if you could find any kind of comparable route that would like only lose a little bit, but do AGA 1 a lot earlier.
Probably not, just because the big thing is that beating AGA 1, if you save and quit in Dark World, it always puts you on the pyramid. And most of our save and quits are actually in Dark World, and we never actually want to end up back on the pyramid, right? So
yeah, it would have to be after Skull Woods then.
Because you'd have to like mirror and then save and quit every time, which is like an extra 6 seconds or something. So definitely not worth it. And you did that like 3 times, it's already plus 18 seconds. I don't know. The route definitely is not going to be faster if you try to change that. Do you have any other thoughts, Thalane? I know it's like basically, I mean, your run was okay other than the 2 deaths, right? Especially for having not played in or not played much.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely had some great gameplay. It was just a couple disasters.
Oh, I didn't actually see the split time. Was it gold, Thalane? Or almost gold? Your clip was really good. Almost gold. Yo, sick.
It's nice. Chex heading through the gauntlet. One thing about the gauntlet, these guys move around randomly. Sometimes you get on one of them that just likes wedging themselves up on top. But looks like you had a clean one here.
Yeah, and then sometimes they move randomly and you can just dash through all 3 of them.
Yeah,
so it's like, it's pretty cool stuff when it goes well, and pretty dangerous stuff when it goes bad. So getting out of there with still 5 hearts, we started the dungeon with 8. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it looks like Chex has a fair amount of time he could save on again in his splits. If he has a good one here, it looks like it's been going fairly okay so far.
How do you... Oh, your brain. Dying 20% of the time with single poke is not good.
Yeah, 20% is not a good percent.
I know that you've been doing 6-slash forever. Cold Stare is just one of those bosses that, I don't know. You start off and you find something that works for you and you never change, but...
Well, you don't want change because it's such a scary boss.
Yeah, that's the thing. And not without reason. I mean, Thalane had, what, 10 hearts? 11 hearts going into Cold Stare?
Yep.
And still took a death? It's like... This game is really punishing sometimes when, you know, you do one thing a little bit wrong. It can be really frustrating because of that, too.
For sure. Because those pops do 4 hearts or whatever. It's in the we're gonna ruin your day class of damage dealers.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, most of GT isn't that way. There's just lots of things that hit you.
Yeah, you just get hit a lot. I don't know, it makes you think of Swamp a little bit, because Swamp is like that. You just get hit a lot sometimes.
Swamp's definitely less dangerous.
Yeah, Swamp, I guess you don't really die in Swamp, but also AD Swamp is definitely simple. Very, very trivial for other than
honestly,
the Argus
a
fight.
pretty solid tower out of Chex.
We're gonna see AGA. Oh, he missed the hits, so we only got 1 on the first 6 days.
Yeah, need to get 6 hits here. You can only hit the real one with these real energy balls.
that
I
probably
honestly
only
don't know if that
counted
was
as
a
two.
double or a triple.
I
I think it was a double. It was a triple. Who knows how this boss works?
Yeah.
Basically, if you hit him with 2 energy balls close enough together, it only counts one of the damages. And so their Chex got hit by, or I guess they were far enough apart that it counted all 3. Yeah, Chex is saving time on this GT. So he's definitely within striking distance of his PB here.
Aga Tower's always, I don't know, it's nice to do in this category because you have so much extra equipment. It ends up being a lot easier, I guess. Like it's pretty hard to lose time doing whatever strategies you want in Aga. You don't lose that much time, even if you're not doing the exact right strategy.
Yeah, you can still get kind of messed up a little bit, especially in this maze room or whatever. But walking's pretty safe here. Basically, as long as the guards don't get alerted, you're in good shape. But overall, just like, we're so over-equipped for this dungeon that you don't really think about it. Unless you're on like 1.5 hearts coming in, and then you just got to play a little bit safe, because 1.5 hearts always scary, doesn't matter the dungeon.
Sure. I guess you get to do a little bit of farm strats here on those fairy skip guards, but that no real refills or anything for you.
I guess a full magic refill. Ideally, you also get a heart drop, not a heart drop, a fairy drop earlier, and that just saves some refill frames. Here, because he's missing so much health, it doesn't matter that much, but it's still nice just because you can comfortably use the fire rod for the rest if you'd like to. Yeah, like we said, it never really feels like there's that big of a difference in the way you do Aga Tower here, but this one from Chex has been pretty solid.
Yeah, so we're heading into the big RMG boss of the game, Aga 1. You gotta hit him with 6 energy balls, and except for the first, 4th, 7th onward, you have a 50-50 shot of it not being an energy ball. So we're going to see, it looks like possibly, he has a combined Aga Tower, Aga 1 split, so possibly if he gets 0 blue balls, he might be in the green here.
I think he's up against 3 based off his splits. So yeah, anything less than 3, he's going to save time. 3 or more, he's going to be losing time. I think, like Joho mentioned, 100% RNG, not manipulatable at all.
He's already at 2. And jeez, man.
Yeah.
Instantly, Aga's just saying, no thank you. Nope. Never mind.
Actually, that's a bit of a lie. We do know how to manipulate the RNG. It just requires, playing the game frame perfectly until you start the Aghanim fight, which is pretty unreasonable.
Yep. 4. Man. Aga is saying no thank you today to Chex. 5. Oh, boy.
Keep in mind, these are 50-50s, right? So, like...
He's above the average already.
Yeah. There's also another way to manipulate it. Shoutouts to Boyne for this one. If you have a bad run, you're guaranteed to get 0 or 1 blue balls.
Yeah. Oh, he's at 6 now.
And if your run is even anything that approaches good, Aghanim gives you 6 or 9 or, whatever he feels like.
Yeah. So, with 6, he's losing 48 seconds over best possible. So, another 24 on his PB, I guess. So, yeah, that's a big rough one. But, I mean, Chex can't fault the way he's played pretty well this run. He hasn't had any real big disasters, so he can't feel bad about the way he's played this run.
Yeah, absolutely not. This run has been 112 pace all the way through, even with, you know, he didn't have the best Palace of Darkness. Especially in a tournament race, you're always going to be happy with that. So we do have one last thing to do here, and that is to defeat Ganon. 4 phases here. We need 12 hits on each of the first 2 phases. Chex has done this enough. I'm not anticipating anything other than a 1-in-1 cycle here.
Looks like you got it.
Honestly, you have so much health here that intentionally taking a hit just to get rid of beams, because it's so weird to have beams in this fight. Even though they don't affect anything, but it's just weird. Getting rid of the beams is not a bad idea. And then 4 hits here to get out of phase 3, and gonna light the torch.
Now we're into phase 4. He's gonna go for the double spin. Nails it. He's onto the fire rod. He gets the torch glitch.
Yeah, a couple pause buffers, I think, because he was
worried.
I'm not
because
sure.
he was on the edge there. I think he was worried about being able to get it or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. We can get up to 3 spins per torch lighting. After the first one's a little bit different just because the timing's different. So basically our goal here is to not miss any spins, which Chex has hit every spin so far. Yep, it's a pretty good phase 4.
Good Ganon fight for Chex. Get your GGs in chat for Chex. Yeah, 112.51 from Chex. I guess was that what? It's 112.53 in SRL. So yeah, that's a good run. It's less than a minute off of his PB, which is very good for an RTA run.
I didn't realize that was a command, but yeah, well, we got 6 blue balls here today, so I guess it's just proof.
Yep, there we go. It's holding up. 6 blue balls, 100%. But yeah, we're gonna see if Chex wants to come in and do an interview.
So far, I have no response from Chex about the interview, but I hope he will.
He might have just missed the message.
Maybe. I know Thalane does not want to join after he forfeited.
Yeah, so sounds like Chex is gonna hop in for an interview.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely think that this match showed, I think more than anything, just how punishing this category can be. Thalane, he didn't have many mistakes, but the ones he did were cost him multiple minutes.
Yeah, very punishing mistakes happened, so. Alright, and with that, I do believe we're joined by Chexhuman. Chex muted if you don't realize.
GG.
Yeah, GG's Chex. How'd you feel about that run?
Pretty good. It was an interesting catch-up kind of a run. And my third 112. So not too not too frustrated about it or anything. I wish it were a better race.
Yeah, just some unfortunate stuff happening to Thalane. You know, that's
Yeah.
just how it goes in this category. So you're moving on to Boyne, and I don't know if you know this, but there's not a more powerful AD player in this tournament than Boyne.
Certainly the strongest and most powerful.
How do you feel about that matchup?
I feel great. I'm doing my best here.
I mean, you are on the poll on the list of people that might get a 110 soon. So, I mean, everyone sees potential for more from you. So
Sure,
it's
let's get my sum of best to 110 first, then we'll talk.
That's a very fair thing to say. Dow is also on that list, on that poll. He's leading the poll currently, I think. So
I think I'm tied with Kosa, which, gotta admit, if you voted for me, I don't understand.
All right, so yeah, Kosa taking a late poll surge, but yeah, I mean, people see more potential out of you than maybe you do yourself. So I definitely think you could beat Point. Who knows? It's this category, so who knows what will happen.
I've done better this tournament than I thought I would at the beginning of it, so feel good about that.
Yeah.
Certainly. Dow, you have any questions you want to ask? Checks.
I was just wondering if you were watching it all, and if you saw, Thalane was behind, would that have changed your strategy at all?
I like to play safe in races, and I don't think it changed my strategy too much.
Okay. I mean, the one thing that surprised me more than anything was you didn't go for citrus, because
Yeah, it loses time.
Glitch it.
I know. I love it. But I lose time on average, so it just doesn't make sense in this setting.
Wow. Okay. Because I was like, it's pretty unlike Chex to pass up an opportunity for another glitch. But yeah, it was a pretty good run.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Thanks to the runners here, guys. Give them a follow. If you enjoyed the race, it was rough for Thalane, but still it was still a good race for a while. And yeah, I guess with that we're going to I guess Siberian can take us out here.
Shoutouts to Thalane, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but Thalane is a really scary opponent, so I was pretty nervous coming into it. So my best to Thalane for the rest of the tournament.
And with that, we have another all dungeon match later tonight between, I had it open, Asta and
It's Asder versus Josh.
Asder versus
RTA.
Josh, yes. And right now, we on the other CSR channels, we have a Minish Cap Rando tournament match and a Subcoal stream. And we are heading over to the Subcoal stream at the end. And thank you, Dao, TMB, and not Chexhuman, and this is not Yoho for commentary. And check the schedule and tune in back to CSR.